I was a bit interested in philosophy when I was in college, and I took up a few philosophy courses as electives. I didn't really need them for a communication degree, but I took them as an intellectual adventure. I remember a famous philosophical statement that went like this: I think, therefore I am. It was a philosophical proposition advanced by Rene Descartes around 400 years ago. He was attempting to prove his existence as a reality, a being, because he was aware that he was thinking. And at a time when people were doubting existence itself, Descartes asserted that the very act of doubting one's existence was proof of the reality of one's mind, and therefore one exists. I think, therefore I am. And this simple proposition became a fundamental element of Western philosophy. Our own existence is something we ordinary humans rarely think about. We just assume that we exist. We just live. We don't really have to think hard about it. And that is until something happens to us that really pushes us to think deeply about life, our very existence. We encounter a life crisis, and suddenly we are plunged into an existential crisis. You lose your dream job, or you miss an ideal career opportunity, for example, and you begin to doubt the foundation of your whole life. How about a broken marriage? Or your child becomes a disappointment? Wouldn't that throw you off from your well-laid plans? How about this? Your spouse dies. Your child meets an accident and is crippled for life. These things have the potential to cause you to have deep doubts about the meaning of life, or whether life is worth living in the first place. You might say, I think, therefore I am, but what's the point? It is when we are at the end of our ropes that we need to seriously consider that the meaning of life, the purpose of our very existence, lies not in deriving it as a logical conclusion from anything we experience in this world. We need to submit to the truth that the real meaning of life lies beyond this world, and that we must embrace it in faith. There was one person in the Bible who suffered all kinds of crises that would make an ordinary person lose hope in life. But this guy was full of hope in spite of everything he suffered. That person was the Apostle Paul. And this is what he said in his second letter to the Corinthians. But we have this treasure in jars of clay, to show that the surpassing power belongs to God and not to us. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed. Perplexed, but not driven to despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed. Always carrying in the body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our bodies. For we who live are always being given over to death for Jesus' sake, so that the life of Jesus also may be manifested in our mortal flesh. So, death is at work in us, but life in you. Since we have the same spirit of faith, according to what has been written, I believed and so I spoke. We also believe, and so we also speak, knowing that He who raised the Lord Jesus will raise us also with Jesus and bring us with you into His presence. For it is all for your sake, so that as grace extends to more and more people, it may increase thanksgiving to the glory of God. The meaning of life cannot be derived from the proposition, I think, therefore I am. We discover the purpose of life as we say, I believe, and so I speak. As we learn to embrace the truth that the real meaning of life lies beyond what our mind can think of. Let us always remember, faith matters too.